They've been going after Trump this whole time. So I think Trump felt like, hey, listen, I've been nothing but I've proved myself through and through. When I see you at the UFC, I shake your hand, I give you respect. Even all that, you haven't put me on your podcast. You don't even want to have me on your podcast. He said in the past he doesn't want to. So being Trump, I'm thinking as Trump, being the loyalist pen, he wants loyalty. Not that, again, he doesn't owe it to him. But I feel like for him to come out after everything that Trump has bled, he was shot in the head, and getting to the point where he's showing you all this love and everything, for you to still say, like, I'm gaslighting and I'm attacking the same people that are attacking you have been attacking me for 7 years. So
as you probably heard, Joe Rogan a few days ago kind of semi-endorsed RFK and talked some trash about Donald Trump, and this sparked a whole ton of controversy, a ton of people attacking Joe Rogan, Tim Pool going on Twitter and defending Joe Rogan. In this podcast episode, Patrick Bet-David addresses the whole Joe Rogan endorsing or not endorsing RFK. Will he actually come around to endorsing Donald Trump, or is he going to continue to trash Donald Trump? Let's get into this clip here from the PBD Podcast of Patrick Bet-David addressing the Joe Rogan endorsing RFK Jr. situation.
First of all, Joe Rogan clarifies that he has not endorsed RFK. Okay. He gets on a video, and on this video, he says he's the only guy that seems like he's not calling anybody out. If you want to pull it up, Rob, he's not calling anybody out. Just play the clip. We'll go from here.
That's politics. They do it on the left. They do it on the right. They gaslight you. They manipulate you. They promote narratives. And the only one who's not doing that is Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
You a fan?
Yeah, I am a fan. Yeah, he's the only one that makes sense to me. He's the only one that he doesn't attack people. He attacks actions and ideas, but he's much more reasonable and intelligent. I mean, the guy was an environmental attorney and cleaned up the East River. I mean, he's a legitimate guy. You know, before anybody started calling him an anti-vaxxer, which I thought he was too. I thought he was this nut, this like conspiracy theorist nut, until I read his book. I read The Real Anthony Fauci, and I'm like, what is it? How much of this is real? Because if it's all real, this is fucking insane, and we live in a world where we're being manipulated by these health organizations that are being paid by the pharmaceutical drug interests. And these pharmaceutical drug companies are pumping these products out into the population and telling us that we need them, and then making insane amounts of money.
So he makes this comment. Trump comes out with a tweet. Trump says, I wonder what the fans are going to react when he walks into the next UFC. I'm sure did you guys read that on the Unusual Suspect? Mm-hmm. You know, how they're going to react when they walk in. Just go to images, Rob. It'll pop up if you go to images. And, you know, he makes these comments, and then Rogan comes back and says, I'm not endorsing RFK. All I'm doing is, you know, he says that's not an endorsement. Clarifies RFK is likes RFK as a person. Confusion over Rogan's position on election arose following Tuesday during the appearance. Kennedy differentiate. For the record, this isn't an endorsement. This is me saying that I like RFK Jr. as a person, and I really appreciate the way he discusses things with civility and intelligence. I think we could use more of this in this world. I also think Trump raising his fist and saying fight after getting shot is one of the most American effing things of all time. Okay, so that's that. Back and forth, and then it'll be interesting to see how loud.
I don't know why anyone's surprised by this in the first place, though. I do, like, I understand Joe Rogan is saying this isn't an endorsement, but I mean, with whether you say it or not, it kind of is an endorsement of RFK. If you say that RFK is the only guy who makes sense to vote for as the president, what else could possibly be an endorsement other than you just straight up saying, hey guys, this is an endorsement of RFK? Like, if you're saying that he is the only guy who makes sense to be president, that is an endorsement. That is the definition of endorsing. Maybe you guys disagree with me in the comments. Let me know. But that seems like a pretty by the book endorsement, in my opinion. But I'm not surprised at all. Joe Rogan has never been conservative. He's never been a Republican. He's always been a Democrat. And he's pushed out of the left because the left has become so woke and just so insane that Joe Rogan is forced to leave the left. Really, the left left him. You know, he stayed kind of on the same spot of the Overton window, and the Overton window has just shifted so far that he's just kind of left behind. But he's never been right-wing. He's never been conservative. I never really expected him to go all in for Trump. RFK does seem like the perfect candidate for someone like Joe Rogan. For someone like me, not a huge fan because of his stance on guns and abortion and stuff like that. But it seems like the perfect candidate for someone like Joe Rogan. And I never expected Joe Rogan to endorse Donald Trump. What is I just wish the guy, Joe Rogan, would just stand on something. Like just either endorse RFK or endorse Donald Trump. Don't endorse RFK, but because you didn't say this is an official endorsement, then you backtrack whenever you get a bunch of backlash on the internet. I think you just endorse one and stand on it. And I think it's fine if Joe Rogan endorses RFK, that's fine. And then RFK drops out of the race because he's obviously not going to win. There's no chance of him winning. Endorsing RFK is only taking away votes from Donald Trump, and that's it. So it hurts Donald Trump's cause, no doubt. Endorse RFK. Whenever he drops out of the race inevitably, then you endorse Donald Trump because you know that he is the lesser of two evils, and basically anyone with common sense's eyes. That's just the fact of the situation. I think that's fine because RFK makes sense for Joe Rogan. They're kind of like a match made in heaven. So I don't understand why anybody's surprised by this, but let me know in the comments if I'm completely wrong.
Joe Rogan gets booed next time he enters the UFC ring. And then you know what Joe Rogan does? Joe Rogan goes, by the way, kill Tony. Tony Hinchcliffe is killing it. That's exactly what he's doing. The guy's on freaking fire. Selling out arenas with his show that he's doing. I think he's got the best comedy show on podcast in the world, apparently. Kill Tony, yeah. But Rogan posts a picture. Maybe one of the best pictures he's posted on Instagram. If you go to Rogan's Instagram, this is why Rogan understands the simple concept of humor. And if you look at the picture that he posts a picture saying, "Don't worry, we got it squared away. Me and Trump are good." And what was it? A picture of him and Shane Gillis, right? And it gets 500,000 likes, and everybody laughs, and everybody moves on. The power of humor, right? When this takes place. When an exchange like this happens, Vinny, how do you process this? When that happened with Joe, RFK, Trump, back and forth, Shane Gillis, humor, how do you process that?
Okay, so I'm going to take a couple of different angles because I know exactly where Joe Rogan is a grown man. He could say what he wants, who he likes, and it shouldn't really bother anybody. On the other side, I could see the Trump people, because mind you, when this happened, you have no idea how many messages I got because I try to play devil's advocate, PBD. You have to understand, coming from Trump.
If you're fed up with all the woke nonsense happening in the world like I am, go check out bringtheasteroid.shop, where we just released some new designs that look great and also allow you to express to everyone that you are just tired of the direction that America is going in right now, and that you're just like me and many others that watch this channel and watch Bring the Asteroid as well, and you just want it to go back to how it used to be. Check out bringtheasteroid.shop. We are limited on supplies for this drop, so if you want one, I would suggest that you go ahead and act soon. Let's get back to the video.
Trump, hearing him saying all these people gaslight you. He said all of them, so that includes Donald Trump. So he lumped them in there, and he said all these people do this, and the only one and is not attacking people. The only one that's not doing it is RFK. From Donald Trump's point of view, he's a loyalist. Joe Rogan doesn't owe him anything. But if you think about it, Joe Rogan has had how many years now? 7 years. Trump has shown through and throughout that he is exactly what the country needs. All the stuff that they did to him with CNN and turning his color green for COVID, they did all that with Trump. They've been going after Trump this whole time. So I think Trump felt like, hey, listen, I've been nothing but I've proved myself through and through. When I see you at the UFC, I shake your hand, I give you respect. Even all that, you haven't put me on your podcast. You don't even want to have me on your podcast. He said in the past he doesn't want to. So being Trump, I'm thinking as Trump, being the loyalist pen, he wants loyalty. Not that, again, he doesn't owe it to him. But I feel like for him to come out after everything that Trump has bled, he was shot in the head, and getting to the point where he's showing you all this love and everything, for you to still say, like, I'm gaslighting and I'm attacking the same people that are attacking you have been attacking me for 7 years. So I feel like Donald Trump, by the way, not a good move. I don't agree with it. I don't think coming out there and saying something like that, you could have said something like, hey, listen, not cool, Joe. I've been over here for the whole time. I'm not a gaslighter. I'm not like that. But that's how Trump rolls, bro. And that's how I feel.
So I think, you look at it, and I thought Rogan was...
I have to agree with that last statement by Vinny, by the way. I think the campaign advisors for Trump probably should be fired. I know there's a lot of those rumors going around. I think just let Donald Trump be Donald Trump. There's going to be a lot of things that Donald Trump says that you completely disagree with. A lot of people probably said that he responded to the Joe Rogan situation a little bit too harsh. It was a knee-jerk reaction to something that wasn't as bad as it seemed. But I think you just take the good with the bad with Donald Trump. You just let him be himself. That's what won him in 2016. That's what won him in the 2016 election. If you want Donald Trump to win, you got to just let him be Donald Trump at the end of the day. I think it's at the point now where they're trying to suppress who Donald Trump is, and then every once in a while something will sneak out that is the real Donald Trump, and people get shocked by it. If you just let him be Donald Trump, he would probably win this next election in a landslide. Let him keep going on streams with Aiden Ross. Let him keep doing this stuff to get young voters. Let him be Donald Trump, and people will like Donald Trump. He's a likable guy, whatever he's allowed to be himself. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking about Patrick Bet-David and the crew's reaction on the PBD podcast to Joe Rogan, in my opinion, endorsing RFK. I mean, let me know in the comments, guys, if I'm wrong. But saying that a guy is the only candidate that makes sense, that's an endorsement. Like, let's be real. Let me know in the comments what you think about Patrick Bet-David's reaction to that whole Joe Rogan and Donald Trump endorsement situation.